Everything is terrifying for people, but these bizarre creatures and mysterious inhabitants of the dark world have shocked even the scientists. Whether it's discovering ancient animals, creepy skeletons, or recording sightings that defy explanation. Hang on to find out what happens when humans enter the wrong territories. This guy was hiking in a remote area in Mexico when he saw some strange movement on a far mountain. He zoomed in with his camera and was shocked to see a giant peeking out from a cave. This humanoid giant was so huge that it was covering the whole entrance of the cave. I have never seen such a creature in my whole life. I wonder if it was trying to move out of the cave or was just making sure no one gets near the cave to disrupt its peaceful life there. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. Bizarre creature. This man was wandering into a cave when he noticed something unusual. As he went nearby, he encountered a bizarre creature lying on the ground. It had a strangely black body with short ears. The man noticed that it was continuously scanning the surroundings, which made him unsure if it was safe to be around or was just waiting for him to lower his guard. The truth behind this creature and how this encounter ended both remain unknown, but it was really creepy. Man of the legends. These miners were doing their usual business in a cave when they made a shocking discovery. They came across an old man who was initially thought to be just an old man who couldn't communicate due to old age. But one of them immediately understood what this was. It was an ancient man who was said in the legends to be living there for thousands of years. These men realized they had just disturbed this figure, which honestly could go any way. So they left it alone to keep everyone safe. Lost in the mountains. On a trip to the hills of Mexico, this group of tourists was visiting a mountain when some of them got lost in the nearby caves and accidentally entered the area they were told to avoid due to safety issues. As soon as they found a way out and were about to leave, one of them saw someone standing on the cliff on the other side. It was some humanoid creature that looked creepy as it had no visible facial features, just a creepy white glowing head. The group quickly ran from the place as soon as they saw this thing and never returned again for any trip to the area. Red-eyed figure. Fascinated by how mysterious they can be, this man started exploring a cave. Moving far inside the cave, he sensed something creepy looking at him. He was horrified to see some kind of supernatural figure with one large red eye staring right at him from behind a rock. It appeared to be carefully observing the man from different angles, probably waiting for the right time to make its move. The man should have run out of the cave at the first hint of trouble, but maybe the creature was blocking the way out. Spanish ghost. In 2016, an eerily sighting was reported in a rural Spanish area. While enjoying a nighttime hike under the moonlight, this man was startled to spot a ghostly creature peeking out from a cave entrance. Only its face was visible with long hair. This was so scary that he couldn't control himself for even a few seconds and just ran out of there at the first sight of this creature. Whether he was able to get out safely or not remains unclear to this day. Humanoid lizard. A group of tourists was exploring an 100-year-old cave in Austria when they were left in disbelief when they saw a 2-foot humanoid creature climbing the wall. Take a close look. This seems like just a miniature human body. They were still processing what they had seen when the creature suddenly disappeared, possibly entering one of the many holes on the walls. The tourists were terrified by this discovery and quickly left the cave, leaving the visit incomplete.
Jesus, what is that?
Jordanian ghost. These archaeologists were inspecting an ancient collapsed cave in Jordan. As they moved some rocks, they were taken aback by a mysterious face peeking from under the rubble. As soon as the man put the stones away, the face quickly took cover to hide, maybe saving itself from getting exposed to the light. This creature was certainly not a human, as frankly, who can survive under so much debris unscratched? The archaeologists were there to find out about this ancient cave, but they hadn't expected to encounter such a paranormal thing. Snake possession. In the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, this person who had gone missing mysteriously 3 months back was found in a cave. The rescuers were shocked to see that the person was behaving like a snake, crawling on the ground, flicking her tongue like a serpent. They believed it was due to some kind of demonic possession that was making her behave like a snake. When this video went viral online, many locals reported these incidents were not new, and the caves in the area were thought to be inhabited by some demonic creatures. Cave witchcraft. This group of friends was out on an adventure in a cave when they came across an unexpected sight. They saw a mysterious figure in a black clad sitting on its knees beside someone who was lying lifelessly on the ground. It seemed to be engaged in some kind of witchcraft. The group realized something was wrong and decided to head back, but the woman suddenly disappeared. They were scared to the bone and ran towards the exit, but were shocked to see the woman blocking the way out. What happened to this group remains a mystery, but I'm telling you, I won't be attending any cave adventure for my life. Spooky creature. Traveling through a forest, this family had to take a break to have some rest. They put up a camp and decided to spend the night in the scenic woods by a cliff. However, their plan was interrupted by some strange sounds coming from a nearby cave. As one of the guys went inside the cave to see what was going on, he saw an unidentified creature with a bulky head, glowing eyes, and what appeared to be ears in the dark cave. It was very spooky, as this creature was looking right at him the whole time. The man rushed out of the cave and took his family out of the woods, not proceeding with their plan to spend their vacations there. Giant on the cliff.
Like a person's silhouette up in them clouds.
In Salt Lake City, Utah, this footage was taken by a worker who saw a strange furry creature standing tall on a rock far from him. He used his phone camera to zoom in, but couldn't figure out what this was. Beside him, a lot of dust can be seen rising due to unknown reasons. Whatever this furry giant was, something was surely wrong here. What do you think was going on there? Was it a giant drilling its habitat in the mountain, or was it trying to save its home? Tell us in the comments below.
I'm sorry. If it was your mountain, I'm sorry I broke it.
Unexpected alien. 3 friends were on a vacation where they planned to go into a cave and spend some time away from the digital world. They were having a good conversation when suddenly one of them saw some movement in a small gap between 2 rocks. It didn't take long for him to realize what he was looking at. An alien with wide eyes, a peculiar shaped face, half of which was visible, while the other half remained hidden behind the rock. He immediately started shouting to warn his friends, and all 3 of them ran out to stay safe. I found this incident to be chilling, given that they went there to bring themselves to peace, but instead got some thrilling memories. Skinwalker sighting. These hikers were climbing a mountain when they heard some noises coming from a nearby cave. They moved forward to check out what was in there, and were left stunned by what they saw. An eerily thin creature with 2 glowing eyes rose up from the ground, looking right at them. It was standing on 2 legs, but other bodily features were not clear due to darkness. Frightened by the encounter, the hikers quickly evacuated the area, making sure no one stayed there to avoid any mishap involving this skinwalker. Haunted cave. There was a mystery surrounding this cave in Sochi, a city in Russia. So this self-proclaimed exorcist decided to go in there and see what it was all about. After going just a bit inside the cave, she started seeing the spooky things for which this cave is notorious. In an area lit by candles, some figure was lying under a white cloth. Moving ahead, she encountered a horrifying lady with tentacles in place of her hands. As she sneaked by, some peculiar red light caught her attention. She was still trying to understand what this was when it suddenly jumped on her, forcing her to flee the area, crying and screaming, adding to the fear of this cave. Strange cave creature. These two explorers went into a cave to investigate a myth that some strange creature lived in this place. They made their way inside carefully and came face to face with what they had been hearing about, a dark, short humanoid creature that was eerily shaking. One of the men cautiously moved forward to see what it was closely and tried to touch it. As his fingers made contact with the creature's skin, he felt an intense burning and immediately pulled back. Not willing to put themselves at risk, they concluded this creature better be left alone. Cave demon. This video was uploaded to the internet by a man who saw a mysterious demonic creature while exploring the caves in South America. It was a greenish, jelly-like monster peeking out of a side passage open into the cave. It didn't have a properly visible face, but what appeared to be its head was quite wide. This creature could be some species that has not been discovered by humans yet, as it seems to be a bit shy of any interactions, and is seen hiding from the man in the video. Creepy sculptures. 650 feet below the Earth's surface, these men came across some creepy sculptures, including a giant minotaur that was too finely crafted to be created by any human, besides who goes so much beneath the ground just to carve sculptures. There were a variety of statues there, like a grim reaper standing by a miner. I think whoever built these sculptures was surely trying to warn those who dare to come in here that this is not their place, and they should leave before things go the other way. Avoidant creature. Moving in some ruins, a spooky black creature was spotted by a group of friends who were there for an adventure, but had to go through a different kind of experience. This thing had a black body, short height, and leaned forward with its inclined back. It was apparently disturbed by the group's presence and confined itself to one corner, curling around to show its lack of interest in interacting with the humans. I think they should have left it alone, whatever this thing was.
Pinche madre, güey.
Eerie goblin. While enjoying the views in a scenic forest, this group of friends noticed something peculiar in the stream below. A small goblin-like creature with short height, irregular head, and with a backpack on. It was secretly moving down there, taking cover behind a rock to make sure no one was observing him. The goblin sneaked towards a mysterious cave that looked like its home, and we don't know what was in that backpack and how many more of this species are currently hiding in that cave. But one thing is certain, something was really fishy here. Mysterious hybrid. On a riverbank beside a cave, a strange creature was found by a man exploring the woods. It had 4 extremely long legs like that of a spider, and what made it truly unique and surprising was its body that looked somewhat skeletal, but its back was like a turtle with a shell. It seemed to be some kind of hybrid between a spider and a turtle. As soon as the man saw it, the creature ran into the cave to keep itself safe from the humans. Demon on a cliff. A cliff caught an explorer's attention when he saw someone peculiar sitting on its edge. When he observed closely, it was some kind of demonic creature with a weird skin and 2 visible horns on its head. He was shocked to see it had wings too. Yeah, exactly. It had actual wings and held them out in the air, maybe relaxing a bit. The man decided not to risk himself for capturing this short clip and got out of the place before the creature could sense his presence. Fear is in the air. Miners dig deep into caves and reach places where humans have never put a foot in. In such a newly discovered place, these miners faced an incident that had no logical explanation. They were sitting in there when suddenly an ominous presence was felt by all, and a cane drifted upwards by itself and started hanging in the air without any support. The miners were terrified by this sight, but didn't lose their senses. They knew that there was something lurking nearby, and the thought of escaping only seemed like it might provoke it even more. Cries from the hell. Mining caves for gold and minerals might sound like a routine task, but for these engineers in Africa, it turned into an unforgettable nightmare. They were filled with fear when suddenly, during the excavation, scary shrieks started coming from inside the cave. The sounds were so frightening, as if they had broken the door to hell. Hearing the terrifying cries and uncertain of what was happening, they fled the area, leaving everything behind, and scared of what could happen next. I was always intimidated by the mountains, but watching this incident has made me even more scared of what these giant rocks could be hiding. The Bat's Cave.
Crazy. It's amazing.
These two men were filming a documentary inside a cave when they were interrupted by a swarm of creepy bats. They panicked as the bats usually try to avoid humans, but these were different and were coming right at them. In all the chaos, they found one bat fallen to the ground. They were stunned to discover these were no ordinary bats. These were vampire bats, which are known to be very unpredictable around humans. They quickly wrapped up and got out of the cave with an experience they won't forget their whole life.
Looks like there's a whole bunch of vamps in here. Yeah, a lot of that.
Tracks of horror. This group of friends went out on an adventure in a Polish tunnel where Germans had been experimenting in World War II. As they advanced into the darker part of the tunnel, one of them screamed he had seen something pass by. They ran further in to see what it was, and were shocked to see some mysterious creature cross the tunnel in an instant. Horrified by what they had just seen, they speculated that the old experiments could have gone wrong and produced some horrendous creature that lives down there now. Honestly, I agree with them. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Mutated spiders.
It would be someone's worst nightmare, but I think this is incredibly cool.
After entering a cave, this man was making his way to the other side when he had to pass through an extremely narrow passage. Coming nearby, he was stunned to see a swarm of some strange creatures covering the walls of this narrow passage. These seemed to be some kind of creepy spiders called daddy long legs, with extremely long legs and a peculiar shape. He had to pass through these to get to the other side. He surely couldn't wait here forever, so he overcame his fear and touched those creatures, actually taking them into his hands. These were extremely frightening things, and the man decided it would be probably best for him to exit the cave from where he entered.
So cool. Look at these walls. Absolutely covered.
Dragon eggs. These caves were long speculated in Chinese legends to be home to dragons. To find out the truth, a group of enthusiasts decided to go explore. In the cave, they discovered some big football-sized eggshells, which certainly didn't hatch chickens. Were these dragon eggs? The answer was soon revealed, as one of them noticed an orange dragon apparently sleeping right in front of them. The man was still trying to digest this shock when he observed another one lying on the side. They were terrified by this and all ran head on heels out of the cave to save themselves. Cave creeper. Passing by a cave, this guy suddenly spotted two glowing eyes in a gap between two rocks. He was freezed with fear when he recalled what part of the cave this was. It was an infamous area, known for mysterious encounters and disappearance. Fearing the worst, the man immediately put himself together and left the cave, taking the tale of this cave to the world through his recorded video that went viral on social media, as no one could deny this fact. Sewer resident.
What the hell?
Sometimes just going your way without meddling into everything is the best way to stay safe. This man was walking by the sewer tunnels when he heard some peculiar sounds coming from one of the tunnels. He went in trying to find where these shrieks were coming from when suddenly a ghostly figure appeared in front of him. He only caught a glimpse of the two shiny eyes and, terrified by the scary sounds, ran outside breathlessly to escape from the chasing figure. Cave ghost. In the summer of 2013, a worker in the Horton mine was working alone overtime, and all the accompanying staff had left the area. He suddenly felt some negative presence around him, and the temperature suddenly dropped to a low level. As he looked around to see what was going on, he was stunned to see some chains swinging, with one moving back and forth at a high speed. These heavy mining chains couldn't be moved so much by just wind. The man took the hint that something in the area didn't want him to stick around, so he just rushed out of the place. I think this cave ghost wasn't pleased by these uninvited guests.
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
Ghost figure. This man was camping in the mountains when at night he suddenly realized he had run out of water and needed to find some more. But the stream was too far, so he decided to go to a nearby abandoned house in search of water. However, while exploring the house, he spotted a shadowy ghost peeping from the cellar. The creepy figure had a frightening look, with a shadowy body and a dark, bony face. The ghost was probably just trying to get the man out of there, as it didn't stay there for too long, and quickly disappeared into the cellar. The man was lucky that the creature left him alone without much trouble. Mysterious figures.
Bueno, Pau!
Entering a narrow area in a cave, this man captured two mysterious figures that looked like some humanoid creatures haunting the place. Scared by the encounter, the man ran to exit the cave before these creatures could get a hold of him. He posted this clip online to ask the locals what this was, and it was revealed that this area is infamous for mysterious disappearances and encounters, and that he also went through a similar incident. Ooh, chills. This is really creepy. Security lapse. This 2015 CCTV footage from Russia shows two security personnel standing guard. One of them is standing with his back towards a puddle on the road, while the other is standing beside the base. Suddenly, some huge creature came out of the water and pounced on the man's leg standing beside. He loses control and falls to the ground, struggling to escape. His mate tries to save him, but apparently something is pulling the man and gets dragged by whatever it is. The friend is unable to deal with the situation and runs back inside the base, abandoning the other man. What do you think was going on here? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Cave dragon. Making his way through a cave which was a bit flooded, this man saw a pale, long, and strange creature that looked like it was a cave dragon. It had a flat, wide head, some limbs on the upper and lower body, and was swimming in the water. The man recorded this creature and posted it on social media to ask others what it was. He came to know that he had luckily recorded an Ulm salamander that lives in dark places and can stay motionless for up to 7 years. It was incredible for him to have witnessed such a rare species. Spooky carving. These friends were exploring the mountains on an adventurous trip when they saw something weird. There was a big hole in a mountain, and a strange figure was crafted in that hole. It seemed to be of some lady, but the real surprise was that the mountain was so flat, with no trail to that hole. So how could someone make such a huge hole in the mountain and carve this mysterious figure? This was really a tough challenge for any human, unless someone else had created this. Crawling horror. Visiting Sagada, Philippines, this group of tourists was standing on the mouth of a cave when suddenly something came at them from inside the cave. They immediately looked towards the cave and were left shocked when they saw who threw this object. It was a terrifying creature crawling out of the cave on its limbs. It was extremely skinny and looked just like an alien with wide eyes and a weirdly shaped skull. These friends were lucky that they spotted this creature before. Cave alien. Aliens are mostly associated with space, but in reality, they can be anything that's not known to humans. While exploring a cave, this man saw a peculiar alien creature sitting on a rock. It had a green, extremely thin body and moved its elongated head in jerks. This was something certainly not from this planet. And who knows, maybe the caves offer a secret gateway to the underground world where the real aliens live, hidden from the humans that keep searching for them in space. Giant's hideout.
Giant Finn McCool has gone into winter hibernation.
Legend has it that North Ireland was home to a giant named Finn McCool, who lives in an area called Giant's Causeway today. A group of travelers was passing through this area, enjoying the mountainous view, when they saw something unbelievable. Recorded in their travel vlog, we can see a giant door moving to close a mysterious entrance. As this was a massive door, only a giant could have moved it, which has led some to speculate that this could be the secret hideout of the Irish giant Finn McCool. What are your thoughts about this? Tell us in the comments below.
I would think he might need a long sleep after this busy summer season.
Cursed artifact. These hikers found a mysterious object which seemed to be just a peculiar artifact that had multiple nails in its eyes and a short cord put into its neck. Seems quite interesting, right? They also thought so, and took this with them to their home. But soon, what seemed to be just an interesting find started proving to be a bad decision, as they started experiencing paranormal activities like strange knocks would occur with no one at the door. Pets started showing bizarre behavior around the artifact, and the light would often flicker. They quickly realized their mistake and put the artifact back to where they found it, but it was too late. Now, pile of misery.
See the bones? What's this?
Following the reports of some missing persons around a certain cave, a few explorers decided to investigate. As they went deep into the cave, they were shocked to see a pile of shoes and creepy remains scattered in a corner of the cave, which added more mystery to what was going on there. Some believed a dreadful creature that lived in this cave was responsible for this mess. The explorers decided not to put themselves at risk and exited the cave without solving the mystery.
See the bones? What's this?
Roadside ghost. Out on a hiking trip to the Cavi Mountains, these two men were returning on their bicycles at night after they got late due to the difficult terrain. Already scared due to the dark, one of them saw a mysterious woman standing on one side of the trail wearing a black dress and with long black hair covering her face. As he came near it, he was shocked to see its facial features. It was some ghostly creature. What made this incident even more spooky is the fact that this was right at the mouth of a cave, notorious for paranormal activities. Surprising cave. Some people don't believe that the huge creatures that lived on the earth before us went extinct. They are of the view that these creatures must be still petrified somewhere on the earth, just waiting to wake up one day. This archaeologist came across such sleeping giants disguising themselves as rocks, but these are clearly petrified ancient creatures with their distinct skin features. I find it fascinating how these have blended in the environment so well to stay hidden from humans. But humans, being the smartest species, always find a way. Romanian dragon. after finding a petrified skull of some giant creature during excavation. These men in Romania were told by the locals of some sightings of a giant dragon in the area. They set up a camera outside the cave, hoping to record a glimpse of this creature that had never been recorded before. When they came in to check the footage the next day, they were surprised to see the video showed a creepy Slytherin dragon making its way into the cave. It was extremely long and thin, and was crawling like a snake. This discovery made the archaeologists even sure that the skull also belonged to some giant creature of this species. Unexpected encounter. A man was exploring a cave when an unexpected encounter occurred. Hidden behind some small rocks, a mountain lion was lying in the cave. As the man got nearer, the feline became unsure of the man's intentions and showed some thwarting behavior. When the man still didn't stop, it attempted to bite him, which he made unsuccessful by pulling back at the right time. While this incident was indeed unexpected, this could have resulted differently if the man wasn't fast enough. Now let's move to the most awaited part of the video, the subscribers pick.
The American cave explorer who got stuck a half a mile underground in Turkey is now back on the surface and out of danger.
An American cave explorer, Mark Dickey, who was exploring a cave 3,000 feet under the ground surface in Turkey, got trapped in there. He was left helpless with no signs of getting out for at least 23 days, after which a multinational team of more than 200 rescuers worked hard to get him back above the ground. He told the media that he had mysteriously fallen ill inside the cave, and the doctors have yet not been able to explain what exactly caused this whole situation. What are your thoughts about this? Tell us in the comments below.
It is amazing to be above ground again. I was underground for far longer than ever expected with an unexpected medical issue.